Peace and Pan-Africanism. Peace and Pan-Africanism. Peace and Pan-Africanism. Peace and Pan-Africanism. It's your big brother King Kong Consciousness. Intercontinental Ifa Tunde. Notorious RBG. Charlotte, North Carolina, I am here. Charlotte, North Carolina, I am here. Charlotte, North Carolina, I am here. The city does not belong to Michael Jordan today. It belongs to me. The city does not belong to Lonzo Ball today. It belongs to me. The city does not belong to Cam Newton today. The city belongs to me. It's going down at the House of Africa, 157th observation of Juneteenth, originally called by our ancestors Emancipation Day. Emancipation Day. Now the official day is tomorrow. I will be at HBCU Benedict College. Tomorrow, HBCU Benedict College Stadium. But today, we're in North Carolina. I am in the building. I am fasting. And because I am fasting, ladies, I won't be able to hug you as tight as I usually do, but I'm still going to hug you. I will have to partake in some fruits and some light drinks today to make sure I have enough energy to bless the crowd with the divine message that the ancestors will send through me this afternoon. I speak at 3 o'clock. At the House of Africa. But the Juneteenth program today will go from 10 a.m. until 10 p.m. After I speak at 3, I will hang around, take pictures, answer questions, help parents, build with the alpha male fraternity, and of course, hug my sisters. So, Carolina, pull up, 3 o'clock. Greensboro, pull up. Winston-Salem, pull up. Raleigh, pull up. Durham, pull up. Eastern Shore, pull up. Fayetteville, pull up. Jacksonville, pull up. My first visit since 2020. It's been almost 2 years. Charlotte, I'm in the building. Make sure you please purchase a copy of the new book, Black Parent Advocate. I need all my North Carolina brothers and all my North Carolina queens today. And I need all my South Carolina brothers and all my South Carolina queens tomorrow to make sure you purchase a copy of Black Parent Advocate, The Art of War for Dealing with America's Public and Charter Schools. If you are raising children and they go to public or charter school, even if they go to private or homeschool, even if they go to Catholic school, you need a copy of the book because it is your encyclopedia. It is your guide to the laws that control the schools, the laws that you do not know about, the laws that I'm the first psychologist, social scientist, and activist in American history to teach Black parents their educational rights. No one did it before me. No one did it as comprehensively as me. No one did it as freely and lovingly as me. So make sure you get a copy of the book. I need to raise money for the shockumentary. I need to raise money for the shockumentary. I need to raise money for the shockumentary. Your book purchase will help me fund the shockumentary. So please get a copy. Buy 2 copies. Get one from your sister, who you know the school district is putting her kids all in special ed. Get one for your brother. You know the school district putting all his kids on psychiatric meds. Get one from your niece and nephew. You know the school trying to expel their kids, hold them back, kick them out, send them to juvie hall. You need a copy of Black Parent Advocate. $50 a piece. Credit card, cash, or cash app. $50 a piece. Credit card, cash app, or cash. Available today and tomorrow. It's a Carolina weekend. Let me ask my Carolina family an important question, because I've always wanted to know this. Let me ask my North and South Carolina families an important question, because I've always wanted to know this. Which state has the higher level of consciousness? Which state has the higher level of consciousness? Is South Carolina more Black conscious than North Carolina? Or is North Carolina more Black conscious than South Carolina? Is South Carolina more Black conscious than North Carolina? Or is North Carolina more Black conscious than South Carolina? I might assume, most people might assume, that South Carolina is more conscious because you have Charleston, where most of our ancestors came in, one of the biggest ports for the enslavement of Africans. You know, South Carolina seems a little bit more grassroots, but I don't know. Who's more conscious, North Carolina or South Carolina? Who's more conscious, North Carolina or South Carolina? Who's more conscious, Columbia or Charlotte? Let's narrow it down. Who has more Black consciousness, Columbia, South Carolina, or Charlotte, North Carolina? Are they equally conscious, or are they equally Negropean? Are they equally Black conscious, or are they equally Negropean? Just wondering. Just wondering. So brothers and sisters, we must reflect on 157 years of Juneteenth. Now, let me clarify for you. Juneteenth, June 19th, 1865, when General Gordon Granger read Special Order Number 3, emancipating all Africans in Texas held in bondage, I need you to understand, this was not when our ancestors learned that slavery was over. This was not when our ancestors learned that the Emancipation Proclamation had already been issued more than 2 years ago. That's not correct. Juneteenth was not a notification day. Juneteenth was not a information day. Juneteenth, as it was called, was Emancipation Day, because the white Texans, shout out to Texas, I will see you next weekend. The white Texans, shout out to Texas, I will see you in Duncanville next Sunday the 26th in Texas. Shout out to Texas, I'll see you in Duncanville at the Holistic Health Festival Sunday, June 26th. Get your tickets at Eventbrite. It was Emancipation Day because Black troops showed up to emancipate their brethren who were still enslaved. I need y'all to understand this. Black men showed up in Texas ready for war. They showed up in Texas ready for war. That's why it was called Emancipation Day. It wasn't called Juneteenth. It was emancipate. They came to emancipate their brothers and sisters through force of arms. That's what that was about. That was a get down or lay down. That's we are here and we ain't leaving till every African is free. That's what June 19th was about, brothers and sisters. So let us reflect on 157 years since we were all free, right? 157 years since we were all free. Now, technically, we were not legally free. We were temporarily free. We didn't get legally free until the 13th Amendment. That didn't come until December. We didn't get legally free until the 13th Amendment. That didn't come until December. We didn't get legally free until the 13th Amendment. That didn't come until December. Be careful about the 40 acres and a mule. Be careful about the 40 acres and a mule. That was a military wartime provision that a general issued for those enslaved Africans that were under his command. That was never a federal executive order. There was no federal executive order or congressional bill for 40 acres and a mule. Okay, that never applied to all of us everywhere. That's why we have to know our history. That's why we have to know our history. Update on the FDMG festival. Update on FDMG versus Wilmington DE. Update on FDMG versus Wilmington DE. The update is this. We were informed that the Director of Cultural Affairs for the Office of the Mayor, Mrs. Tina Betts, received a mystery application to hold a festival on the street in front of the FDMG campus. And for those of you who were at the campus last year for our historic festival, you know that we own the entire block. You know that we own the entire block. My video ended on Facebook for no reason at all. My video ended on Facebook for no reason at all. Facebook, I think Mark Zuckerberg is at it again. Let me try Facebook again. It should not have ended. It should not have ended. But we were informed by Miss Tina Betts that they received a mystery application on April the 30th. Early afternoon, April the 30th. They received a mystery application to hold a block party on the street in front of FDMG on Saturday, April the 30th, for Saturday, September the 10th. I sent an email to Miss Tiffany Christopher on Tuesday, May the 2nd or 3rd, at around in the morning time. So in essence, I'm being told that somebody could read my mind. Somebody has some sort of telepathy powers. They were able to read my mind, and they knew that I was sending an email to Miss Tiffany Christopher on May the 3rd, informing her that we were going to hold our festival on September 10th. And because they could read my mind and they had these special telepathy powers, they sent in an application 63 hours before my email notification. Because they can read my mind and somehow knew I was going to send Miss Tiffany Christopher an email on May the 3rd, informing her that we will hold our festival on September 10th. Somebody was able to read my mind, and so they sent in an application 63 hours before me. No disrespect to either one of those sisters. No disrespect to either one of those sisters who I believe are deliberately trying to sabotage the festival. I believe that they deliberately tried to sabotage the festival last year as well. Okay, we didn't get our festival permit last year until like a day before the fest. I do believe this is a deliberate attempt to sabotage the festival, but I do not believe for 1 minute. I do not believe for 1 minute that it was such a coincidence that the last festival was September. You've had October, November, December, January, February, March, April. You waited 7 months to fill out an application to hold a festival in front of my school, and you filled out your application 63 hours before I served notice that we would be having a fest on September 10th. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Nobody's going to convince me that somebody coincidentally beat us by 2 days and a half. Nobody's going to convince me that somebody coincidentally beat us by 2.5 days to the date. And even if they beat us to the date, that's our property. That's our campus. How can you let somebody set up in front of a school? So you're telling me when the school is up and running and we have children on the campus and we come outside to do an activity with our students, we can be met by strangers telling us they have a permit to hold an event? Are you telling me when a school is operating and we come outside to do event with our young men and later our young women, we can be met by strangers who tell us we have a permit to hold an event in front of your school? That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Brothers and sisters, we're asking you to contact the mayor. We're asking you to contact his chief of staff. We're asking you to contact Miss Tina Betts. We're asking you to contact Miss Tiffany Christopher and ask them, why is this happening? Is there any precedent for people holding block parties on other people's blocks where they don't live or operate? Why can't this mystery organization be forced to hold their event at a public park? I want y'all to be respectful, but I want you to call the mayor. I want you to be respectful, but I want you to email the mayor. I want you to be respectful, but I want you to call the chief of staff. I want you to be respectful, but I want you to email the chief of staff. I want you to be respectful, but I want you to call and email Mrs. Tina Betts. And I want you to call and email Miss Tiffany Christopher and let her know you are an investor. If you are a donor, you are an investor. If you are a donor, you are an investor. Tell them I am one of several investors in the FDMG Academy, and we do not appreciate the discrimination, the blatant discrimination, unprofessionalism, and disrespect that is being shown to our school. We are planning to hold a festival on September 10th, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Please clear up the date to prevent any issues on that day. Please clear up the date to prevent any issues on that day, because we do plan to show up and show out on September 10th. We do plan to show up and show out on September 10th. We will be in Wilmington, Delaware at our school on September 10th. Tell them to clear the date. Brothers and sisters, we might have to roll this over to a street protest. Brothers and sisters, we might have to march on Wilmington, Delaware. Brothers and sisters, I might need to get a permit, and I might have to invite you to Wilmington, Delaware, and we might have to march on the city. I may have to get a permit, and we may have to march. Who will march with me on City Hall if we have to march? Hold a rally, a 1,000,000-man march outside of Wilmington city government. Perhaps they don't know who I am. Perhaps they don't know who you are. Perhaps they don't know who I am. Perhaps they don't know who you are. I'm hoping that the mayor will exercise justice and fair play in this situation. I'm hoping that the good mayor of Wilmington, Delaware, will exercise good reasoning and good judgment and justice. But if we can't get justice, brothers and sisters, I need you to pull your Timberlands out. Pull out your Nat Turner Nagas boots. We may have to march. I may have to call you. We may have to show our strength to let them know this is one institution you don't want to play with. Dr. Umar is not in Wilmington to get involved in your city or your politics. He is here to operate a school for the children. But if you push me, I will show you my strength by all legal means necessary. I will show you my strength by all legal means necessary. But I'm trusting in the mayor. I think he realizes that this is ridiculous. I think the mayor of Wilmington knows that this is absolutely ridiculous to let somebody pull up in front of his school, hold a festival, don't even tell him who it is, and then claim that they sent the application in 2.5 days before he notified you. It just so happens they sent their application in on the Saturday prior to the Tuesday. Brothers and sisters, hit the Cash App for FDMG. Hit the Cash App for FDMG, $FDMG School. Hit the Cash App for FDMG, $FDMG School. Hit the Cash App for $FDMG School. Hit the PayPal, International Africans, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. PayPal.me/FDMG. Excuse me. Yes, PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. Or cash.me/FDMG School. Cash.me/FDMG School. Hit the Cash App for the Shockumentary, the documentary of the millennium. Hit the Cash App. Shockumentary Cash Apps, go to $Dr. Umar Johnson. Make sure you put Johnson. $Dr. Umar is a fraudulent account. $Dr. Umar Johnson for the Shockumentary. PayPal.me/Umar the Psychologist for the Shockumentary. 215-989-9858. Send your Zelle donations. Send your Zelle donations. 215-989-9858. Send your Zelle donations. 215-989-9858. Zelle donations for the Shockumentary. We must resist oppression and racism. 157 years later, our ancestors are not happy with us. 157 years later, our ancestors are not happy with us. Ladies, my birthday gifts. Ladies, you can start sending your birthday gifts to King Kong Consciousness. July 22nd, Leo season begins. I will accept birthday gifts beginning July 22nd. I will be spending my birthday at Nat Turner Land, where I've spent it every August the 21st, but I wasn't there last year because I was with Jacob Blake's father in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Last August the 21st, 2021, I was with Jacob Blake's family in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And then I drove on down with my security team from Gary, Indiana, Brother Dennis and Company. And then we drove down to Gary, Indiana, Brother Dennis and Company, my security team. We drove down to Milwaukee, Wisconsin with my security team from Gary, Indiana. We drove down to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I gave a birthday lecture in Milwaukee. Shout out to my Milwaukee, Wisconsin Africans. Shout out to my Milwaukee, Wisconsin Africans. Shout out to my Milwaukee, Wisconsin Africans. So I sacrificed Nat Turner Day last year. And me and the prophet Nat Turner went to Kenosha, Wisconsin to protest police brutality against Jacob Blake. And we hit up Milwaukee for a power lecture. But I'm back at Nat Turner on 8/21. I'm back at Nat Turner on 8/21. I'm back at Nat Turner on 8/21. And I want you to join me as we honor Nat Turner, brothers and sisters. The greatest black revolutionary to ever walk on American soil. Jean-Jacques Dessalines, the greatest revolutionary to ever walk on Haitian soil. And that's why we have the Dessalines Turner Gymnasium. And that's why we have the Dessalines Turner Gymnasium. And that's why we have the Dessalines Turner Gymnasium. Today in Charlotte, I'm going to say what the ancestors put on my heart. But I'm going to talk to the parents about the psychoacademic Holocaust. I'm going to say whatever the ancestors, I'm going to be outside in the sun. I'm going to be under the sun right before Leo season. I'm fasting, so I'm a little weak. So ladies, I need a few hugs to get some energy. My queens of Carolina, I need you to give me a hug because I need some of your divine ashe. This is consciousness. This is not cookies, okay? This is politics, okay? But I need my queens of Carolina to give me some energy while I'm fasting so I can deliver the message. So I can deliver the message. Speaking of Nat Turner weekend in Virginia. Speaking of Nat Turner weekend in Virginia. Who got the finest women? North Carolina or South Carolina? Who got the finest women? North Carolina or South Carolina? Who got the finest women? North Carolina? I'm just kidding. Let's refocus. I'm just kidding. Let's refocus. They both got fine women. All black sisters are fine. All black sisters are fine. But speaking of Nat Turner weekend in Virginia. Speaking of Nat Turner weekend in Virginia. Speaking of Nat Turner weekend, I want to talk to my Virginia Africans for a minute. And then I'm going to hop off the live and get ready. I want to talk to my Virginia Africans. If you live in Virginia, I don't care if it's Richmond. I don't care if it's Fayetteville. I don't care if it's Raleigh. I don't care if it's Durham. I don't care if it's Hampton, Portsmouth, Suffolk, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, Chesapeake. I am looking for a location to host the Virginia Black Parent Boot Camp on Saturday, Saturday, August 20th, one day before Nat Turner. I want to make it a Nat Turner weekend. I'm talking to my Virginia Africans. I'm talking to my Virginia Africans. I'm talking to my Virginia Africans. Can we find a location in Virginia? Can we find a church in Virginia, a community center in Virginia? Can we find a Black-owned event center in Virginia to host the Black Parent Boot Camp on Saturday, August the 20th? And then we will go to Nat Turner on Sunday, August the 21st. Winston-Salem? No, excuse me. I'm confusing today, North Carolina, with Nat Turner weekend, Virginia. Virginia, Virginia, Virginia. Virginia, I need a location for the Black Parent Boot Camp, Saturday, August the 20th. Can somebody in Virginia find me a location for the boot camp for Virginia, Saturday, August the 20th? I want to make it a Nat Turner weekend. I want to make it a Nat Turner weekend. I want to do the Black Parent training in Virginia the day before Nat Turner. If you know of a place that can seat 50 parents, tables and chairs, whiteboard or chalkboard or easel, you might have to buy it. I'm not bringing it. Y'all need to do some work. If you know of a place in Virginia that can seat 50 to 100 parents, tables and chairs in the state of Virginia, Saturday, August the 20th, I am trying to hold that date. Saturday, August the 20th, I'm trying to hold that date for the Black Parent Boot Camp. I will be in Harlem for the Marcus Garvey birthday. I will be in Harlem August 17th. Marcus, I'm going to eat some fruit because I bought some fruit. I got some bananas. Ladies, bring me a piece of fruit today. My North Carolina Ifa Tunde Queendom, bring your brother a piece of fruit today. Bring me some fruit salad. Bring me some fruit salad and give me a nice tight hug. Okay? Give me my energy. I need my energy. Divine feminine, divine masculine. That's how you charge the battery. Divine feminine, divine masculine. That's how you charge the battery. Brothers and sisters, support the shockumentary. Support the shockumentary. Support the shockumentary. 215-989-9858 if you need to text me. 215-989-9858 if you need to text me. 215-989-9858 if you need to text me. The shockumentary is about the war against black boys, psychoacademic holocaust. The shockumentary is about the war against black boys. If you have a testimonial, if you have a story about what the public, charter, private, parochial, independent school did to your son or daughter, if you have a story about what the public schools did to your child, I don't care if they were beat up by the police, suspended unnecessarily, put on ADHD meds, misdiagnosed as retarded, misdiagnosed as autistic, misdiagnosed as intellectually disabled, misdiagnosed as emotionally disturbed, misdiagnosed as reading disabled, thrown in juvenile hall, expelled from the school, called the N-word, punched by a teacher. If you have a story for the shockumentary, text me your name and city. If you have a story and you're willing to be interviewed, a lot of y'all scared. A lot of people I called who said they would be interviewed for the shockumentary, they backing out now. A lot of parents who said they wanted to be interviewed for the shockumentary, they backing out now. A lot of teachers, a lot of principals, a lot of judges, a lot of attorneys, a lot of youth workers, a lot of child service workers. When I'm calling them, say, you signed up for the shockumentary, I want to schedule an interview. Oh, no, I don't think I could do that. My job. I'm concerned for my job. I don't want retaliation. But you want to celebrate Juneteenth. But you scared to tell the world what they did to your son in public school. You scared to tell the world what they did to your daughter in public school. You scared to tell the world what they did with special ed against your child. You scared to tell the world how they use ADHD against your child, but you want to celebrate Juneteenth. Can we stop being hypocrites? Brothers and sisters, if you are not afraid to tell the story of what happened to your child in public school, if you are not afraid to tell the story of what happened to your child in public school, please text me your name and city and the word shockumentary. Please text me your name and city and the word shockumentary. Please text me your name and city and the word shockumentary. Please text me your name and city and the word shockumentary to 215-989-9858. 215-989-9858. 215-989-9858 if you want to get interviewed. If you live in Virginia, we coming, If you live in Maryland, we coming to you. If you live in DC, we coming to you. If you live in Delaware, we coming to you. If you live in Pennsylvania, we coming to you. If you live in New Jersey, we coming to you. If you live in New York City, we coming to you. If you don't live in the 6-state Mid-Atlantic area, if you don't live in the 6-state Mid-Atlantic area, you have to come to Philadelphia and get interviewed in Philadelphia. You can still be in the shockumentary if you don't live in the 6 states, but you have to come to Philadelphia. You have to come. California, Texas, Virginia, Carolina, Kentucky, okay? Wisconsin, Michigan, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio. You can still be in the shockumentary, but you have to come to Pennsylvania to be interviewed. But if you live in Maryland, we coming to your house. You live in Delaware, the video team coming to your house. You live in DC, the video team coming to your house. You live in Pennsylvania, the video team coming to your house. You live in New Jersey, the video team coming to your house. You live in New York City, the video team coming to your house. Hit 215-989-9858. Hit the Cash App for the shockumentary, $ Dr. Umar Johnson. Hit the Cash App for the shockumentary, $ Dr. Umar Johnson. Hit the Cash App for the shockumentary. Hit your Zelle, 215-989-9858. Hit your Zelle, 215-989-9858. Hit your PayPal, Umar the Psychologist. Hit your PayPal, Umar the Psychologist. Brothers and sisters, I got to get ready for Charlotte, North Carolina today. God willing, Columbia. My Columbia queens and kings, I'll see y'all tomorrow. My South Carolina, pull up to Columbia tomorrow. Charleston, pull up. Greenville, pull up. All my South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, pull up to Columbia yesterday. This is a Dr. Papa, North Carolina, Juneteenth weekend. This is a Dr. Papa, South Carolina, Juneteenth weekend. This is a Prince of Pan-Africanism, Carolina. I belong to North Carolina this weekend. I belong to North Carolina and South Carolina this weekend. It's a Carolina King Kong Consciousness Juneteenth weekend. I said it is a Carolina King Kong Consciousness Juneteenth weekend. This is the Prince of Pan-Africanism, and I'm signing out. Peace and Pan-Africanism.